Well, good afternoon, guys. Today I didn't go to work, so I took the day off. So I decided to check my car out. I mean, I got a 2013 Hyundai Sonata. It's a little hybrid. I've been getting a thump coming out of the steering wheel. At the beginning, I thought it was a steering column, rack and pinion problem. Uh, Fortunately, it's not the rack and pinion itself. These suckers have an electric assist steering, so motor on the inside of the cab connected to the steering shaft is actually making the noise. Did some research and found it was a steering wheel coupler. So I saw a couple of videos on how people do it. I mean, it doesn't look that bad, but I'm gonna try and see if I can figure out an easier way of getting this one done. Instead of taking all these covers and wires and all this junk out of the way, having to disconnect and undo the battery. I'm gonna try and see if I can figure something out to where it won't be less work, but it'll still be somewhat it'll still be work, but it'll be a little bit easier than yanking all those parts off. Let me see if I can figure this one out real quick. And I don't know how the video quality is going to be because I am going to be working under the dashboard, so it's a little dark in there. But I'll try and get you the best video I can. All right, guys. Well, guys, this is my car. Let me go ahead and start it up so I can. Right now, you won't hear the noise because the car's off. There's no steering assist or nothing, so I got to start the sucker back up. And now, listen to this, guys. Let me turn the radio off real quick. Listen to this. Well, I hope you guys heard that noise. It's coming. These suckers have a electric motor. It's a steering assist system. It is not connected to the rack and pinion. The steering shaft goes down 18 inches. It's got like a gearbox. That gearbox has an electric motor. The electric motor has a wheel or a coupling. It's like a little star. And then the receiving end, the gearbox, has another coupling in the star shape. Well, in between those two gears, instead of metal to metal, you have this here. This little plastic little star thing fits inside the coupler in the gearbox. And then let's say the gearbox, one tooth goes here, the other one goes here, so on and so forth. It skips one. So the motor has another set of teeth that fall into corresponding little slots on this star. So basically 4 on the receiving end, 4 on the motor. And this little bushing here is all wore out, and it's making this clunking noise. I mean, for a while there, I thought I was going to have to spend $700 on a rack and pinion. It just so happens that this little sucker is causing all that noise. So let me go under and try and figure out how I'm going to replace this without having to do what the rest of the people do on the videos that I saw. They remove the steering column completely and remove that motor and replace this. I'm going to see if I can do it while it's still sitting on the car. I am going to have to remove a couple of covers, and I'm going to have to drop this steering column down, but most of the stuff I'm going to try and leave connected, my airbag, stuff like that, and see if I can get to that motor without removing everything, or removing all the stuff that I saw removed on the videos on YouTube. So let me see if I can figure out an easier way of getting this one done. Well, guys, like I said, I am going to have to remove some covers, but I'm going to try and see if I can. I just want to get away from having to do the electrical part, airbag connector and all that. So remove that cover. It's got got a Phillips little screw here. It has to be removed. What I'm removing here is this. I got to take this little plastic off. So give me a second, guys. Almost there. There's one. There's another 2 screws here in the bottom. Sorry about the noise, guys. It's AC kicked in, so I can't ask the tenants to turn off their ACs for my video, so we'll be all right. There's 2. Remove the fuse, little cover, and that should be it, guys. Open this up a bit. Open this up a bit. Got this side loose. There's a couple of connectors for your trunk and some of your lighting. There's another one over here in the bottom, and then of course your OBD connector at the bottom over here. Okay, and like I said, you pull this completely off. Put it on top of the car so it doesn't get smashed. I am going to remove these 5 10mm to get this shield off, so I can get a better view of the inside and see if I can get to that motor without taking this sucker off. Alright, let me get the tools. Yeah, these 2. One, 2. You have 2 on this other side. And you have a nut right here. Right there. Remove that little shield. And let me go ahead and look at the inside real quick. Well guys, on this one here, we do have to take the steering wheel, steering column covers. It looks like we're going to have to do it the way they did it on YouTube. I guess there is no easier way for doing this, you guys. But I do have to do it regardless, so we'll see what happens. There's one. Steering wheel turns this way to be able to access this other little screw here. There's 2. Drop the column a bit. I'll straighten the wheel up. And let's go get this cover off. Alright. Bottom cover has a Phillips screw in the bottom. There's that. Well guys, it looks like I don't have to undo none of the connectors, airbag, none of that junk. I'm going to go ahead and remove four. It's got four 12mm bolts holding the steering column in place. I'm going to go ahead and take those off so that the steering column can drop. I'm not even going to remove that steering shaft. I'm going to let it slide down, and that should give me enough room for me to take that motor off. Let me get the tools ready. Let me just give you a view of what I'm looking at. There's one. Okay. There's one. There's two, and then there's two on the other side of the column. I got to get all those four. The back ones are screws, the front ones are nuts, so that this steering column can actually drop down and give me access to the motor that is above. This is the shaft that motor connects to on top. So if I can get this thing to drop, I'm going to say 8-10 inches down, I can remove the 3 screws holding that motor together, pull it out, replace that little rubber grommet, and put everything back together without removing all of these harnesses. Alright, let me go ahead and try and see if I can do that. Well, let me go ahead and get those little 12mm bolts and screws out of there, see if I'm going to be able to drop that steering column. Alright. I'm going to loosen the nuts in front. I didn't take them completely off because if this ain't going to work, I'm going to have to tighten them back up and remove the harnesses and all that stuff that I didn't want to do. There's one of the bolts. Let me get a longer extension. I was trying to use a little 3-inch extension. I mean, might as well just use a longer one. Makes it easier. There's two. These are the bolts. So now let me go ahead and get these nuts out of the way. There's one. Hold the steering wheel up while I take the second one out and hope for the best, guys. Like I said, I mean, I've never done one of these. This is the first one, so we're trying this. We're not sure if it's going to work. We're going to try and make it work. something is... Well guys, there we go. Steering column is on the top of the seat, resting on the seat. I did not remove that steering shaft, and you can see that motor. So the motor has 3 bolts holding it in place. One right here, one right here, and the other one is in the back. That's the one that's going to give us a little bit of trouble maybe, but I believe those are T30s. So let me go ahead and get that Torx bit and see if I can get that motor pulled up and expose those little star couplings where that little bushing goes. Let me get my tools ready and see if I can go. Let me see if I can get this one done. It is a T30, and I can get to the first one. I can get to the second one. That third one, the one in the back, is the one that's going to give me a little bit of trouble, but we said we're going to do this. We're going to try it. Oh, I got it, guys. I can feel it through the back. So you're not going to be able to see this, but I'm going to get the one in the back from back here, and then I'll show you the other 2. Alright, let me get this one done. Well guys, you got the one in the back loose. There it is. Now let me get the 2 in the front loose and see if we can expose. Remove the extension off of this one. It's a little too long, too tall. And sorry about the video quality, guys, but this is a very tight space. If you guys ever get to do it, you'll see that it's in a very tight spot. It's almost impossible to get good footage, especially if you're doing it on your own. Maybe you have somebody helping you, maybe they can capture a little bit better video quality, but if you're going at it solo, I did. There's a third one, guys. Now, is this sucker gonna come right off? Yep, it did. Haha. Let me get a better shot of this one, guys. You want to see this? Well, give me 1 second. And get you a better look of this. Hold on 1 second. There you go, guys. There is no bushing left, so I'm going to go ahead and get a blowgun, blow all this debris out of the way. We don't want it inside that casing. Clean off of that rubber plastic residue on those blades, on that star bit and that one, and then put that little new one back in place and put this thing back together. So there is an easier way. You don't have to remove your steering column. You don't have to disconnect that many harnesses to actually get to this. It is in a little tight, it's in a tight space, but it is possible, guys. So let me go ahead and clean out all that debris and start putting this one back together. Well, guys, I'm still pulling out debris. I mean, it's all mushed up. I'll show you after I'm done. I'll go ahead and show you everything I pulled out of this thing. I haven't used compressed air on it because I wanted to get as much the debris that I could out of there, so I can show you guys what this little star became. Well, guys, the port that I bought, I didn't buy it at the dealer. I bought it at O'Reilly's. It was like 14 bucks, and this is a Dorman part number 926-990. It's a flexible steering coupler. That's a port that I got for this car. I know a whole bunch of people use the one from the dealer, but I found it at O'Reilly's. I'm going to give it a try, see how long it lasts. So this is a port that I use, guys. Well, guys, let me go ahead and get this little coupling, whatever they call it. Yeah, it's a steering wheel coupling. Let me go ahead and get this back into place and put that motor back into place so we can go ahead and start putting this thing back together. Like I say, guys, I don't know if you can see this, but it fits onto the little teeth. That the motor has 4 little teeth. It fits on it, and the store has 8. So the motor has 4 little teeth. The bottom connector has 4 teeth. So basically, they share a slot in between that star, and that little star is kind of like just an insulator to kind of soften the head. Instead of being metal to metal, it's got some kind of a cushion, kind of like an engine mount. Motor's back on there. Start the screws in by hand. There's one. Let me go through the back of it. There's 2. And I was watching a video on A1 Auto. The lady was using a little torque wrench. If I remember correctly, I think she said it was 8.7 pounds of torque or something like that. I'm not going to use a torque wrench on this. I'm just going to use my ratchet and go by feel. I think I can apply 8-point-something pounds of torque. So let me do this one. I know you can't really see much on this one because my hand's in the way. And click, there's a torque. There's 2, guys. One in the back you can't even see, so well, I'm gonna have to go through the front again, guys. So I'm gonna cover up the view, but I got to get that back one done. That's it, guys. Little start bits back in place. Now all we got to do is put this thing back together, and I mean, if everything goes well, it should work. So let me go ahead and continue. Well, guys, all we got left is raise the steering column back into place. This is going to be tricky because we didn't remove that steering shaft, and there we go. Get the nuts started so that the steering column doesn't fall back. One of them. Here's the other. Alright. Got both of them on. You use those nuts to kind of pivot to get these bolts. I recommend you start them by hand, dude, because you don't want to strip the threads on these bolts. They are important, so you don't want to have messed up threads on these bolts. Don't tighten them up, just kind of, I'm just getting it there. I got to get this other one back in place. Come on. There we go. Get this other one. Tighten these suckers up. There's that, guys. We didn't even mess with the steering shaft. We didn't loosen the steering wheel, so we don't have to worry about the steering wheel being aligned with the tires. It's not going to be driving crooked or anything like that. This thing is back up. We removed minimal harnesses. Everything here stayed intact. We didn't mess with anything here. So all in all, guys, I mean, shoot, what can I say? I mean, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Let me go ahead and continue putting this thing back. And we turned a job that should have taken, I don't know, let's just say maybe an hour, hour and a half. And we knocked it off in like 30 minutes. So we did cut some time off of the work, and we actually got the same thing done. I mean, we did the same job everybody else has to do or does, and they take everything apart, all the harnesses and stuff. Do they do it for ease or simplicity, or do they do it to charge you more? Well, I wouldn't know, but this job here took me 30 minutes, so it wasn't that bad. If you want me to score it between 1 and 5 on how hard this thing is, I'm gonna say it's a 3.5. So I think a do-it-yourselfer could take care of this, no problem, dude. There's that. We're almost done, guys. And real quick, a couple of videos I saw on YouTube, guys were using upholstery clip removers and a whole bunch of stuff. Basically what we used is basically a Phillips head screwdriver, a tiny little flathead screwdriver, 3-inch extension, 3/8 ratchet with a T30 bit, 1/4-inch ratchet with a 9-inch extension, a 3-inch extension, 10mm socket, 1/4-inch, and a 1/4-inch 12mm socket. That's all we use, guys. Nothing else. Basic, simple hand tools. We got this job done. We're gonna get it done. Sorry. Well, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get the steering column little covers. I'm gonna do those on a time lapse, guys. I mean, I don't want to make this video too long. Well, guys, I had removed this little vent. It goes in the bottom, and it's the one that blows hot air to your feet. So let me go ahead and put this back on. And all it does, it's held in by a Phillips little screw. So there's that. Now all we got is our cover, and that should be it, guys. 1, 2, 3 screws, and we're done. Well, guys, let's go ahead and get this cover back on. And this cover's got a whole bunch of clips. So on this side, it's 3 clips plus a screw. Make sure you get them aligned. You don't want to break these, because I'm pretty sure this little plastic cover is going to cost you an arm and a leg. So there's one. They gave me a hard time when I took them out, so I'm pretty sure they're not going to slip right in. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I guess this one goes in first, then this one, and then this one. All right. I got that one, guys. Over here on this side, OBD connector. Slip it back into place. Make sure it locks. This little connector, put it back in there. These 2 little suckers over here. The gray one goes first. White one, I can't see the connector, guys, so I'm gonna get in. There you go. Got that one down. Put this back in place. Slip it back in, and this one goes under the weather strip. So let me just. There's that. That's in place, and it's all back on. Let's get these little screws, screw them back into the bottom of the cover. The other one goes on this side. It's in. We have another little screw. It goes here. Sorry about the arms getting in the way, guys, but I got to get this little screw back in there. I'm trying to finish this car up. I want to see if this is going to work. So I'm not rushing, no, but I am anxious to know if it's going to work. All right. Now we got the 2 little screws we got from the steering column. Let me get you a better view. There we go, guys. Turn the steering wheel to the left, 1/4 turn. That exposes this little slot where the screw goes. Phillips head screw, pop it in there and tighten it up. These screws are plastic on plastic, guys, so don't go crazy. Over tightening is just going to strip the hell out of the plastic threads. Turn the wheel, quarter turn to the right, and get your other screw and pop it into place and screw it back in. That's it. And last but not least, come back out and get your side cover behind the weather strip. It's got two slots in the back where it falls into place. Where's the other one? Oh, there you go. Hold on. Let me pull this out of the way, make it easier. Put this in place, snap it back in place, get your seal back and push it back into place. So, alright, that's that. Last but not least is going to be our fuse cover. Now this is a real easy one. There we go, guys. Let me go ahead and start this guy up and see what happens. Alright guys, let's get back in the car and let's see what it does. Oh, steering column goes up. Steering wheel gets straightened out and guys, let me bring you inside so you can listen to this. No more noise, guys. That thumping sound completely went away. Want to take the sucker off for a little drive, see how it's going to perform, see if it's going to feel like a new car all over again. And let me show you guys what I pulled out of that motor coupling. Well guys, this is what I pulled out of the motor coupling. A whole bunch of shredded little teeth that used to be on this little star, which now became just a little puck. So, well, you can see how this thing was gone, dude. That little motor, whenever the motor turned either left or right, you'd hear that clonking noise when it hit metal to metal. So, here we go, guys. I think I found an easier way of getting it done. I didn't really like the idea of getting all those wires disconnected. I don't like messing with airbags. I mean, I know those airbags all of a sudden just deploy out of nowhere. I didn't want to take a risk. I'm kind of glad I found a way of getting it done without removing all that junk. So, well guys, car's fixed. No more noise. I like the idea of no more noise, so we're gonna go ahead and call it quits here, guys. And well, thanks for watching, and like and subscribe.